Good evening. Thank you for shopping with Two Loco. Hey, what's going on? This is Ray Ray.
And this is Chrissy D.
And on tonight's late show, we got a late start once again. I will apologize. This is not normal. These 2 days have just been very rough on us. We've been going through a lot. As of tomorrow, we'll be on 11 p.m. sharp.
Yes, we will.
But people are looking at the title and they're probably wondering, what the fuck are they on tonight?
It's actually not something that we're on. It's something we saw while driving down the road.
Yeah, I remember this one time in band camp. Yeah, okay. No, for real though. I was driving down the road today. And as I'm driving, I look up to the signs. And the signs say, everywhere the signs, everybody knows and
all right.
Everybody wants. Can't you read the sign? Yeah, okay. I'm just kidding. All right. But I'm looking up on the highway.
And we see a sign that says, do not drive while drowsy. Something like that, right?
Why do you steal? You just stole my punchline.
You can still have a punchline.
Okay. Yeah, and this is what I want to know. I want to know who in the blue hell is drinking NyQuil and then going out driving.
I know, really. I mean, that's the craziest sign I ever saw. I've never seen a sign like that before. I was like, what the heck?
And it's like, stay alive to live to see this state. No, everybody just wants to be dead. They just want to be walking. They just want to be walking zombies, just going around going. Argh.
Yeah. Okay. I don't think so.
But really, I mean, who is taking the Robitussin, the NyQuil, the cough medicine for nighttime, knowing that it's going to make you drowsy and driving on the road? Because there's got to be a reason that sign's there. It's not there for no freaking reason.
I believe it's there for the truckers because a lot of long distance truckers will try to drive while they're drowsy and they don't want them to due to too many of them getting into accidents. So they'd rather them pull over and nap or sleep or whatever.
But this is going on a little highway. This is like a little like 2-lane highway. This isn't like the main like shebang and everything. This is a little 2-lane highway.
Yeah, but it doesn't have to necessarily be a big truck. It could be a box truck or whatever. Don't forget, box trucks still have to get things to places. Furniture, bedding, different stuff.
Yeah, if we're popping or anything or causing any loudness, we had to, remove her windscreen because, windscreen.
Windscreen because I was too low and you couldn't hear me.
So do you windscream often?
No, I don't know. Do you windscream often?
All right. Yeah, she sounded like she was in an elevator last night. I'm like, what the hell? She's right next to me. Why does she sound like she's so far away? Anyway.
Or either that or I sound like a little mouse. Squeak, 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 squeak.
No, you weren't sounding like a mouse. You were just sounding like you were in an elevator. I'm like, I didn't know there was an elevator designed in this room, but okay.
It must be invisible. We didn't know about it.
Okay. Anyway.
Well, anyway. He's crazy. I don't know.
All right. So, I mean, it's just weird things we see sometimes. I just see the weirdest signs.
Yeah, we do. We do see some pretty strange signs. It's like, okay, wait a minute. We've never seen that sign before.
Yeah, I just thought that was funny. If you know anyone who's ever taken NyQuil, Robitussin, or any cough medicine that is designed to help you sleep and went behind the wheel, we'd love to hear about it.
Yeah, because that'd be one crazy motherfucker. No offense, but yeah. You'd have to be crazy to be driving after taking NyQuil.
Well, I understand the other side of caffeine pills. Because when you come down off of caffeine pills, it does make you do like crash. It's just like with 5 Hour Energy. Once that shit wears off, if it works.
Yeah.
It doesn't always work. If you are, tired from one day, it will work. You don't get sleep for 3-4 days and then try that. That ain't doing shit.
No. Not even a Monster's going to help you with that.
Well, Monsters don't help me anyway. So.
Oh, I drink one, I'm good. I drink two, I'm bouncing off walls. From before, last time I drank 2 of them. Remember that one night?
Yeah, she was probably funny as fuck.
I was bouncing off walls. I think that's the one time I look like a rubber bouncing ball. Boing, 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 boing.
So anyway, going back to the story yesterday, I said that I was going to, tell another haunted story.
Oh, yes.
Okay. Me and my buddies, a bunch of us, okay, we pack up 2 cars, and we go out to this place called Dudleyville, Connecticut. And what's crazy about that town, it's the, spookiest little town.
It's very spooky. Is that where the woman in gray or woman in white is supposed to be or something?
Well, there's all kinds of, crazy shit out there.
I bet you that's where we were, and my friends.
But anyway, so we go to this Indian, graveyard.
Oh, my God, that's crazy.
And we have this girl, and she's going to perform a seance because she's she's into the white witchcraft.
I'm sorry, I don't care. I still wouldn't be going to no witchcraft and no Indian burial ground.
So anyway, they're out actually in the field. My ass is like, no, I'll stick in the car.
I don't blame you there.
So anyway, this girl, I don't know why, but for some reason, does it wrong and pisses something off. Because all you hear is this fucking big old fucking tree falling, this loud ass fucking noise, and then you see this big old fucking shining fucking reddish light.
Holy
it just
shit.
pissed somebody off. But that's not the deal. Okay, so we go in this car, right? And there's about 4 of us, in our car. And the car in front of us is drove by my buddy Tony.
Okay, go ahead.
Now, he normally is a speed racer.
Yeah.
Okay, he knows how to drive really well. Other than when he's hitting things when he's
and
drunk.
when he's not paying attention.
Yeah, well, I mean, for the most part, when he can,
when he pays attention, he is a good driver.
He knows how to drive. So anyway, he, for some reason, cannot drive. And the weird thing is that there's this fucking glowing fucking red light. I was about to say green. I'm thinking about the fucking clowns from last night.
Oh, God.
But, there's this glowing red light on the back of his fucking windshield. Okay, and, he says later that something just would not let him fucking drive. To add to that, we pass this van.
Okay.
It's sitting on the side of the road.
All right.
The minute we pass, it turns its engine on. Okay?
Whoa.
Add to that, we go up the road.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and there's these 2 trucks sitting on the side of the road.
Mm-hmm.
We pass, and they start following us as well. So now we've got a van following us and 2 fucking trucks following us. He's got a fucking red light out of his fucking back fucking window.
What the fuck? That's crazy.
And I don't want to pass him. No, I wasn't driving at the time. The driver didn't want to pass him because we just wanted to all stick together. So we all want to stick together and everything. And, okay, so we're, driving. We must have been followed all the way from Dudleytown all the way to our town.
That's freaky.
By these, by these vehicles. And they were letting us know they were there. They were beeping and everything.
Holy shit.
All right, so anyway, we get to the house. We get back to one of the houses. We finally lost these other vehicles. I think they were just I don't even know if they were there. I think that how they say that there's ghosts sometimes.
Yeah, it's just like apparitions.
Yeah, it's like everybody in the car could see it, but somebody else followed us to a house, another car, and they didn't see the vehicles.
Yeah.
So it was weird. So we get to the house. The minute we get to the house, it starts pouring down rain. So
That's weird.
I'm like, I'm getting the fuck out of here. I don't have a good feeling. I don't know if this fucking ghost followed us or whatever the fuck. Now, some people are going to be like, well, there's no such thing as ghosts following you. Well, then you just don't know.
Yeah, no, you don't.
So we, me and this girl, we get to my house because she's going to, hang out for the night.
Mm-hmm.
Right? We get out, we get onto the porch. Now, I'm talking about it was pouring down rain. Rain doesn't just stop out of the blue.
Okay.
We get on the porch. The minute we get on the porch, the rain completely stops.
Holy shit, that's freaky.
Next thing, there's this fucking crow that is fucking sitting on the fucking edge of the fucking steps the minute the fucking rain stops. I'm not kidding you.
That's freaky.
We go upstairs, go in the house and everything. And this is where everyone's like, yeah, okay, now you're going to tell us you almost got murdered and everything. No, I'm not going to say that. I will say this bird sat on the porch and then went on my mother's boyfriend's car and just sat there. He wouldn't move. We literally had to call animal control to get the bird to move.
Whoa,
I don't know
weird.
if the crow, which they say is a sign of death, in that case was, actually helping us. Like there was some spirit chasing us and was just helping us.
It might have been protecting you.
Yeah, and just like a sign of protection. But it just sat there for a good fucking 2 weeks. It wouldn't move. And whenever anybody came by it, it would go like it's going to eat them.
Oh, going to attack them?
Yeah.
Oh, shit.
How my family is. They try to feed everything.
Oh, yeah.
So they went to
friendly.
feed it. It didn't want to eat. It didn't want to, but it did not lose energy the entire time it was there.
Wow.
So it was the craziest shit.
It probably ate when you guys were all in bed or in the house. They don't like to eat in front of people and, they don't trust anybody.
But it was the craziest shit. And I'm like, wow. That's why I said I'll save it for this show.
Yeah, that was definitely a good story. That's spooky.
So, and some people are going to be like, yeah, but I experienced worse. I'll tell you another thing. Another little ghost thing. My buddy, who ain't scared of shit, right, said he didn't believe in ghosts. This is when we were a kid.
Mm-hmm.
And we are riding, a bunch of us are riding bikes.
Talking about my little brother, by any chance?
All right, so a bunch of us are riding bikes, and he's coming through with the moped. All right, now, of course, he's like, he's a crazy motherfucker, and he's like, I'm not scared of anything. A graveyard, why the fuck would I care, So anyway, we pass through the graveyard, because we cut through the graveyard. We get through fine. He's halfway through the graveyard, then all of a sudden you see his back tire pick up like it's nothing.
Holy shit.
There was nothing there to pick up the tire, but his tire is fucking leaning in the fucking air. Like something's pulling him back, but there's nothing there.
He pissed something off.
I'll tell you one thing. From that moment on, he did believe in ghosts.
Oh, I bet. Well, I got a good story about ghosts. My friend's husband, big tough guy, was a biker, so he's a pretty tough guy. I don't believe in ghosts. No, there's no such thing, he'd tell his wife. There's no such thing as ghosts. She'd be like, yeah, there is. No, there's no such thing as ghosts. And so this guy was a pretty good sized guy. And so he goes over to one of his friends' houses, and the mother hires him to do some painting and some little odds and end work in the house. And as he's working, anyways, his friend's brother and the father had died. I don't know how long ago they had died prior to this happening, but Larry he didn't believe in ghosts. So he said, I don't believe in ghosts. Nah, not me. So he goes in the house. He's doing the little odds and ends. A woman asks. He hears a ball bounce. He stops what he's doing. He looks. And I'm telling you, he was freaked. I think he believed in ghosts after that. He'd hear like noises and like balls bounce. I have to get his wife on the phone and have her tell you the story, because she'd tell you it the best. But yeah, he would know all kinds of noises. He believed in ghosts after that too, and he was afraid. He wouldn't go back. He almost didn't want to go back and finish the job, but I think he ended up doing it. He forced himself. Nobody else was in the house but him, though, while he was doing that painting job.
The point I'm trying to get with these stories tonight is it really something, supernatural? This is what people are probably wondering.
Or is it all in your head?
Or is it just your mind playing tricks on you? Kind of like when you're tired. Now, just for the record, I believe that everything that I experienced is true, and it's not my mind playing tricks on me, and I don't give a shit what anyone says. I know what I've seen.
Me too.
But when you get awfully tired, when you are working hard and you just get awfully tired, why is it at that point, whatever pain you have, just like, how do I explain it? Just
increases?
Like, increases big time.
Yeah, that's freaky. Yeah, that's bad.
Why is it you start hearing shit, when you're so super tired?
Because your brain's playing tricks on you from the lack of sleep.
Is it your body it can't take it no more, and you just can't block out the pain? And are we really blocking out the pain, or has it just been there and we just don't notice because we're too busy doing other things? I've always wondered that.
Yeah, that's a good idea. I wonder that too. That's a good idea. Yeah. I got another ghost story for you. Okay?
All right, here we go with fucking ghost stories. It's the ghost hour.
I was over my godson's parents' house, and I was visiting my godson for the weekend, like I did all the time. And so my friends, I'm going to change their names to John and Paula, okay? John and Paula say to me, oh, yeah, come on over. We're going to, just hang out, watch movies, and just hang out in the house, and you can play with your godson, Johnny. We'll call him Johnny. And so I said, okay. So I go over for the weekend, and everything's fine. We do what we're doing.
Was it Johnny 5? Did he say, I'm alive?
I don't think so. Not in a year and a half old. But anyways, so he was, he went to bed as normal. Mother and father went to bed. And I'm sleeping in the living room. I get up and I see.
Not the mama.
Do you ever see how they say, like, when you see a ghost, you see a bright, like, light around them?
Yeah, sometimes.
Well, there was a man, an older gentleman, and he had a bright light around him. And I went in the room and I said, oh my God, I saw something. She said, what did you see? I said, come look, come on. So I dragged her out in the kitchen. She goes, oh, that's just Uncle Perry. That's my husband's uncle. So from then on, every time we walked out there, we would see him sitting out there in the middle of the night with a newspaper, sitting there reading the newspaper. It was the freakiest thing. I mean, we could see him as if he was actually one of us, not a ghost. It was just weird. So we walk out there and be like, "Hey, Uncle Perry, how you doing?" He didn't even look up from his paper. I mean, but it was still freaky to know he was there. Yeah, that's how I felt.
All right, so I have this one other story here.
I have one too. I have a couple.
Oh, here we go. It's the fucking ghost hour. But, yeah. So I was walking one day. And as I'm walking, I, take the wrong turn. Right? So I'm taking the wrong turn. And I come across this house.
Mm-hmm.
Now, all you see from this house is a bunch of red lights.
That's weird.
So me being into metal and everything, I figured, hey, maybe these people will be cool. And maybe they're got the red, strobe lights and shit.
Or a red light bulb or something, yeah.
Yeah, exactly. So I go towards the house.
Mm-hmm.
And I just get this cold feeling that I've never felt in my life. And I'm not talking about below zero cold.
Mm-hmm.
It's a different kind of cold.
It's like a bone chilling to the bone cold where you can't shake it no matter what you do.
Yeah, exactly.
It's weird. I don't know how to explain the feeling, but yeah, it's freaky.
Exactly. And then I start seeing shadows in the house.
Oh, shit.
And then all of a sudden the fucking door opens. And as curious as I am at times, I fucking booked.
I don't blame you.
But the funny thing is, I asked people, well, I was in this area and I went down this street. And they're like, there's no street there. And I said, well, I went to this house. That they said, oh, yeah, well, yeah, there was a house there. It's no longer there. But there was a house at one point.
Okay.
And I said, well, it had, red light coming from it.
Yeah.
And it said, well, even if the house was there, which the house wasn't, it certainly didn't have any electricity.
Okay.
So no one knew where this house was. It's like it just popped out of nowhere. It was like...
It was there and then disappeared?
It was like it wanted me to go in there for some reason, and I'm like, no.
That's bad. That's evil. That's something evil.
Yeah, I was not doing that. I was not going to go that route.
That's like that Goosebumps that our son watches, The House of No Return. These kids, they say, oh, well, we got this club. You want to join? And the little kid's like, nah, I don't want to join. Somehow they trick the kid and they get him into the house. And so he makes a deal
Here,
with
boy, I want some candy.
No, they just threw him in the house and shut the door. You have to stay in there for an hour. Or however long. And then I guess he stayed in there the way he was supposed to. And they went in, I guess, to investigate to see what happened to the kid. The kid made a deal with the ghost that lived in the house that for his soul, if he let him go, they would get 2 more kids. So those kids that made him go in the house, there's 2 or 3 of them. I think there were 3. He got... Sorry. They got to keep their souls. So that's what that reminded me of.
Yeah, it was very freaky.
Yeah, that is freaky. Okay. My friends and I said, oh, well, we're going to go to a cemetery. We're going to go see the White Lady. It was me, my friend Tina, my friend Matt, my friend Rob, a bunch of us. Okay, we're teenagers. So we're not afraid of ghosts. We're all big and bad, we're not scared. No, not us. So we go to the cemetery. Nothing happens. We sit there for a while. There's a bunch of people there. And as we're sitting there, nothing happens. We say, okay, fuck this, we're leaving. So we leave. And we go down the street to the convenience store. In the convenience store, we're getting our whatever we want, our candy and our soda, and we look across the street. I go to my friend, holy shit, Tina, look at that. We look across the street. What the fuck's in there? The Cool Guys Clan. I said, holy crap. We're getting the hell out of here. And the guy in the convenience store said, whatever you do not go in that cemetery. It wasn't the one we were in. It was a different one across the street from the convenience store, like I said, down the street. But he said, do not go in there. Do not fuck with those people. They are doing something, and do not get involved. We said, oh, hell no. We all put our asses back in that car, and we took off and went back home. Oh, hell no were we messing with those people in that cemetery. We don't know what they were doing.
All right, but that's not really a ghost. That's
No,
more of a
that wasn't
cult.
supposed to be a ghost story. That was supposed to be just like a scary story.
I guess.
Ghost story? I got ghost stories.
All right, so I'm not trying to stay on, freaky stories. All right, well, this started, I've heard of, going someplace and allowing something to, come in your life. However, I was talking to this girl one time.
Mm-hmm.
I met her through one of them, phone line thingamajiggies. And I'm not talking about a phone sex line.
No, it's a phone dating line or something.
Yeah, they used to be big back in the day.
Yeah, my friend used to go on them. He used to think that it was fun to go on them.
But anyway, I got this girl's number and I, called her. And, she was asking me, do I believe in ghosts? I said, yeah, of course I believe in ghosts.
Okay.
She's like, yeah, but have you seen somebody perform something without you actually being there? I said, no, I haven't, and I don't believe in that. Now, that's bullshit.
Okay.
Now, I am holding a glass.
Okay, you're holding a glass, and what happened?
I'm holding this glass, and she's like, okay, so you don't believe in what I'm telling you? Let me show you. And I'm like, yeah, okay, you're full of shit. Whatever.
Okay.
All right. And like I said, this was the time before I had a sense of humor and everything. I just didn't give a shit.
Mm-hmm.
So all of a sudden, the glass I'm holding bends in fucking half.
Holy shit.
It does not break, but it bends in fucking half like it's fucking plexiglass. And this is just normal fucking glass. A glass does not fucking bend.
No, not as far as I've ever known it never did.
Then she's like, well, look out your window.
Okay. So you looked out your window?
So I look out my window.
And what
I
do you
see
see?
this fucking puddle.
Okay.
And it keeps splashing.
Mm-hmm.
Like there's a car there.
Okay.
There's no car.
That's weird.
There's nothing there. So my ass is all freaked out and I hung up the phone, but I just thought that was an interesting story. Because I'm sure other people have had similar experiences and they're like, whoa, I'm not alone.
That is freaky. That's very freaky. That's definitely very freaky. I mean,
All right. It's a cough-a-thon.
Cough-a-thon. Stop, hon. I apologize, everybody. Anyways,
And yet I'm the one that smokes.
I got a story. Back when I lived in CT.
Did you really live there?
Yes. I was living in this apartment. It was me,
Oh, yeah.
my son's biological father, and my son.
Ooh.
My son was about, I want to say, 3 maybe? He had to be about 3.
Gotta love them toddlers.
Yep. So, he's in bed sleeping. My son's father's in bed sleeping because he got up at 6:30 in the morning, or 6 o'clock in the morning to go to work. So, everybody's in bed sleeping, and I'm downstairs on my laptop or my computer, whatever the heck I had at the time. So I'm deciding, okay, I'm going to play on the computer for a while. I'm not tired yet. So as I'm downstairs, I'm playing on the computer, watching TV, doing whatever, just hanging out. I get tired. I said, I'm going to go to bed. As I'm walking up the stairs, I swear to God, I saw a woman come walking down the stairs. She walked right through me. And remember you were talking about that chill, that bone chill? Yeah, that's what I felt. I said, ah! I ran upstairs. I jumped on the bed, woke him up, and told him what I saw.
All right, that's what I don't get.
Wait, that's not it. Then I also saw a man coming down the other side of the steps.
Here's what I don't get, though.
What?
You saw a woman and you got freaked out. And where'd you run? Upstairs. Why?
I ran to where he was. I know. How's he going to protect me from a ghost, right?
My ass would have been running out the door.
Trust me, I didn't know what to do. I was at first when I first saw it, I was up, down, up. I couldn't find what I wanted to do. I was so scared. And finally, I just ran upstairs. I don't know why.
My ass would have jumped out the window.
Oh, trust me, I didn't know what the fuck to do. Well, you know how the apartments are. There was no window in the landing. Between the upstairs and downstairs. But still, it was freaky. And
that's wonderful. You got to tell me it was there. Oh, that's great.
No, it wasn't that apartment. It was a different one.
By the way, I forgot to tell you, honey. There's a ghost.
It wasn't in our apartment that we were living in. It was a few apartments down that I had lived in previous to living there the first time.
But what if it felt like bouncing around the apartment?
Nah. It was in that other apartment, probably still, if it was there.
All right, so we're going to change the topic a little bit.
But I don't know if it was a figment of my imagination from being tired or if it was really there.
Did you not hear me say I was going to change the topic?
Oh, I know. I just wanted to put that in there.
Always a woman.
Yep.
I swear. Got to have the word end of word edgewise.
That's right. That's right.
And just like a normal guy, I'm just like, as I'm talking, I'm like, well, wait a second. Watch what I'm saying here.
Yeah.
She has a monster and she knows how to use it.
Yeah, right. That's right.
So this is what I want to say.
What do you want to say?
Is this a conspiracy? Or, and I'm going to tell you what I'm talking about in a minute. Or is this something that it can actually happen?
I don't know.
I'm curious if this is man-made or if this is Mother Nature. And I'm talking about all these storms, like the storm that's coming out this way.
Yeah, there's like, 3 of them coming?
There's like 3 snowstorms that possibly could come out here. Georgia's going to get hit or is getting hit. North Carolina.
Georgia, Virginia, North Carolina. And it's supposed to head up towards CT and New York and all that area. So it might go right over
But
us.
all these storms at one time makes me
wonder, yeah.
Plus ice like never before just makes me think, is this really Mother Nature just really pissed off and saying you guys are fucking shit up?
I don't know.
Or is this somebody just fucking with shit and found a way to manipulate fucking shit?
I don't know. But, especially where we live, we don't normally get weather like this. That's very unusual.
Well, they did get a blizzard way back in the day.
Yeah, but, we don't have the resources here like other towns that are used to a lot of snow do,
Well, it's basically just don't have the manpower.
And we don't have the manpower.
So.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. But,
But I'm just curious here because of all the ice and the snow and, just hitting these areas that normally don't get this bad weather. I'm just curious, is this really Mother Nature, just pissed off and saying, I've had enough? Or is this somebody fucking around that created something that that's fucking shit up right now?
I don't know. Maybe they created something they weren't supposed to by accident. They don't know how to control it.
Yeah, I'm just, or they do and they don't care. It's just a conspiracy. I'm not saying what is real and what's not. I don't know. I'm just saying it's awfully fucking coincidence that fucking shit happened like that. It's just like last year and the year before. How in the fuck? I'll say it again without coughing. How in the fuck do you have two hurricanes at the exact same fucking time, 2 fucking back-to-back years? How the fuck is that possible?
Oh, you have a hurricane and then a snowstorm right behind it. We had the snowstorm, the hurricane, and then another snowstorm, wasn't it?
And then we had to fucking repeat the fucking following year.
Yep. What the hell?
And, the thing about that bothers me is it makes no fucking sense how the fuck you have it 2 years in a row at the exact same time. It's like it's going on like clockwork.
I know. Yeah, that just does sound weird.
Is this a conspiracy or is this just Mother Nature saying, okay, I'm going to fuck with you again because you are a bunch of fuck-ups?
Maybe she's trying to warn us. You better start taking care of shit or you're in some deep-ass trouble.
Now, some people say, well, the planet's dying and, the whole thing of, we need to save the trees and everything, but I go by what George Carlin normally said.
And what's that?
He said plastic bags are not going to change the earth. The earth has survived volcanoes, has survived major storms, has survived hurricanes and tornadoes and everything else.
Yep.
And
dinosaurs and
recycling plastic bags is not going to change a damn thing.
Okay.
Not that there's anything wrong with recycling. That's not what I'm saying. I am saying that there's an awfully lot of fucking things that just don't make fucking sense happening.
Okay, that's true. That's very true. I mean, it is kind of weird.
Does anybody else out there wonder, if you wondered what the fuck is going on and why is this working like clockwork, like it was planned shit, be sure to, get a hold of us, info@twolocalradio.com. Until March 1st. As of March 1st, we will be joining Strip Club Choppers Radio. So please go there on Spreaker and not Two Local Radio, though I will have a thing on the profile that says, hi, we moved.
Yep.
So I just have to wonder, is this a conspiracy or is this reality?
I don't know. I have no idea. I wonder myself,
It kind of comes down to, okay, somebody talks shit, and then the next thing, the storms went right to their business.
Well, then somebody was sitting there trying to provoke Mother Nature by calling her maybe some names or whatever, or challenging her. And that's what happened.
I don't think they were challenging Mother Nature.
You never know.
But that's all I'm going to say about that. I just think that it was just fucking crazy. I think these storms have been crazy.
Well, I think we need to change the subject. We're supposed to be funny.
Well, it is funny. What's funny is I worked, for the transportation/medical field.
Mm-hmm.
And this is when the last... hurricane happened before this year.
Yeah, this was last year.
All right, and here I am. I'm like one of the emergency workers.
Go ahead.
Because people got to get through their fucking transportation and shit. So they stick a bunch of us up at a fucking hotel.
Oh, I remember that. That was a nightmare.
And they try to stick... First, they give me my own room. Okay, and I'm doing them a favor. So I better have my own damn room, right? Then they say, well, yeah, the hotel says, no, we ran out of rooms and Now you got to bunk with some young kid.
Oh, God.
Now, here I am, a family man, and I don't want to go with the young kid, that's willing to party because that's just, I'm never going to hear the end of it. How do you go home and be like, yeah, well, it wasn't my fault. The person that they bunked with decided to throw this big wild party and I happened to be there.
Yeah. I mean, because, the way you were thinking of it is what if this young kid decides to have a bunch of females in the room or, like you said, have a wild party.
He was calling everybody and their mother, and I'm like, no, I'm not going to stay here.
Yeah, I don't blame you.
Well, just because there's a fucking, huge storm, and last thing I'm thinking about is fucking partying.
Exactly.
So anyway, me being a dumbass I am.
Go ahead, tell him.
Says, you know what? I'm going home. But here's the issue. There was no highways open because...
They basically shut down the whole state.
Yeah, they shut down the highway. My dumbass don't care. It says emergency vehicles only. I'm gunning on the highway with no traffic up there, thinking to myself, this is a fucking emergency. I need to get home. So anyway, come a few days later, we have the nor'easter. And I'm driving with my car, and my car is driving like a champion.
It's a little car.
Granted, it has no fucking snow tires, no nothing, and it's just driving like a champion.
Yep.
So I get almost home.
Oh, I remember that night.
I get almost home, and there happens to be an emergency vehicle on the wrong side of the road, or over the line. And where we're from, if you hit an emergency vehicle, it doesn't matter the reason why. It could be playing chicken with you, and you still go to jail. Don't collect your $300. And
do not pass go.
And they're not hearing shit.
Yeah, they don't give a shit.
So anyway, I, moved the wheel a little bit to get out of the way of the emergency vehicle. When I did that, I happened to slam into a police car.
Because he hit black ice.
Now, here's the funny part. I'm not proud of hitting a police car.
No, I know that.
If it was under normal situation, my ass going to jail, they're throwing a lock and key, and they don't give a shit.
Yep.
But because it's a bad snowstorm and the cop was actually parked, going, trying to arrest somebody else, it wasn't as bad, even though I slammed into it, the side of it.
Yeah, but didn't you say you didn't hit it that hard or something?
I didn't hit it that hard because I wasn't going that fast.
Right.
Because you don't go that fast with the freaking emergency vehicle in your lane.
And in the middle of a snowstorm and black ice on the ground.
No, I didn't give a shit about that. I did give a shit about it's a big old fucking truck versus my little car.
Yeah.
If you go head on into a big old fucking truck versus a car, who's going to win?
The truck. Our
Exactly.
car would be an accordion. So go ahead.
So anyway, I hit the cop car. Not even 2 minutes later, the fucking cop car gets hit in the back by a Tahoe. And then the dude has the nerve to fucking say, okay, here I am, I'm thinking to myself, I'm going to fucking jail. I'm going to jail. What the fuck? All kinds of crazy thoughts.
Calls me up in a panic. Thinking he's going to jail.
I'm going to jail. There's no...
If ands or buts, that's what
Well,
he
I mean,
kept
under
saying.
normal circumstances, you do go to jail.
Yeah, well, you were very nervous at the time. This is before the Tahoe obviously hit it.
Exactly.
And then you called me back and told me the Tahoe. I was like, oh. No, you told me when you came home about the Tahoe.
The Tahoe, huh?
Tahoe, Toho, however.
Was it a good Tahoe? Did it go, Tahoe?
It's a Chevy Tahoe. Toho, however.
Oh, yeah, baby.
But anyways, go ahead, tell the story.
So anyway, the guy's got a nerve and says, well, hey, man, can you help me out? Can you tell him that because you slammed into the ice, that I slammed into the ice as well because I was behind you and I didn't want to hit your car. And I'm thinking to myself, no, I'm not telling
Hell
him that.
no.
I don't even know the motherfucker. You think I'm going to risk my life and for
Go to
him?
jail for you?
Oh,
Nah.
because he was in deep shit. He was going to jail. No ifs, ands, or buts.
Yeah.
But there's a difference between a big old truck hitting the fucking back of a cop car and a little car hitting the side.
Well, he might have gotten away with it only because of the weather, too, though.
Well, at that time he did. I'm sure at court he didn't, but at that time he did.
Yeah.
So anyway, after explaining what happened to the cop and everything, and the cop was actually cool.
yeah.
They say there's no such thing as cool cops. I've met a bunch of them. Not saying I'd go drink a beer with them,
Yeah.
but, in that circumstance, they were cool.
Yeah, when they didn't have to be understanding, they were.
Well, until I got stuck in the snow, and then he didn't want to help.
He said, screw you, I ain't helping you.
Yeah, exactly. So he has me turn around.
Mm-hmm.
He's like, all right, go. Just like that. All right, go.
Yeah.
Because he was probably pissed off that I did hit his fucking cop car.
I think he was probably more pissed off about the truck hitting it.
So I go to turn around, and I got stuck in the fucking snow.
Mm-hmm.
The cop's right there. Cop takes off, doesn't give a fuck. That's fine. So I see that there's a UI guy, and I go up to him, and he helps me out of the fucking snow,
Thank God.
which was nice. Now, of course, I went to the court, and they said, show them the copy of the, that I had insurance at the time, and everything was fine. And that's fine. But it's just crazy how, that I slammed into a cop car. I didn't go to jail, and I'm not going to,
Yeah.
press on about that.
Oh, no, but you're just grateful that you didn't.
But it's just crazy how the car gets through the hurricane.
Yep.
And here's the funny part. Here's what pissed me off. This is a true story. When the storm happened, as I got buddies with holes in their fucking houses. The storm was that bad. I believe it was what was it, Katrina?
I believe so.
Yeah, Katrina was that bad that the waves were freaking pounding into the freaking house, and it just went right through the concrete.
It was a concrete house.
And put a fucking hole right through it, like it wasn't shit.
Yeah, it was a 3-story concrete house.
And just put a hole in it.
Yep. Mind you, the the wood deck up above, was still intact, but the wall on the first floor, the cement was gone.
All right, so
Concrete, I mean.
Anyway, the thing is, okay, the car survives, the hurricane, no problem, and then was surviving the snowstorm, no problem, until that damn emergency vehicle was on the wrong side of the road, which I don't agree with, but I can't say nothing against.
Right.
Because he didn't care. I mean, you could tell the difference. He could have tried to get out of it. He had plenty of room to get out of the way, but this freaking road was freaking narrow on one side and wide on the other side, and the side that it's wide, okay, let's just spend extra time going to the narrow side for no apparent reason. But, anyway. Which, if you've ever gotten a situation with the emergency workers and they really pissed you off because they did some dumb shit, let us know.
Yeah, exactly.
But here's the thing. Okay, that I'm trying to get to.
Mm-hmm.
During the hurricane, we were not affected during the actual hurricane, except for one thing.
Yeah, the hurricane gets over with, and what happens? Go ahead.
There's this fucking tree that got hit, but it's like swaying back and forth, like it's ready to fucking go.
Yep.
But it didn't fall over during the hurricane. 2 days later, the fucking tree falls.
Yep.
and knocks out both our fucking cable lines and our fucking power lines.
Get closer to your mic, honey.
This is after I'm fine.
You get far away, and then it sounds like you're far away. Go ahead, anyways.
All right, so anyway. So 2 days later, okay, the storm is fucking over, and I'm already dealing with people out in New York, talking about, the shortage of gas. And you have I'm going to get to that in a minute.
Mm-hmm.
Which I can't get in specifics for obvious reasons. But I can say, certain things.
Well. Go ahead.
But here's the deal. The storm is over. And then our fucking power goes out.
Yep. Power, cable, everything.
How the fuck is it the storm is over, you survive the storm, and then, bang. It's like getting a paycheck. Right? You got this huge-ass fucking bonus.
Okay.
Right? You got this bonus come through.
You're all excited. Yep.
You're all excited. You put it in the bank.
And boom, it gets what?
And then all of a sudden, your shit gets garnished. And dropped it out of your bank and you ain't got shit.
Yeah, that would suck. Yeah.
But that's how it felt. It felt like, okay, yeah, we're survivors. Everything was fine. And then we got fucking hit.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying, that that I'm pissed that for the sake of, 2 days later, well, it did suck. Compared to the people out in New York and the people that were fucking literally swimming.
Yeah.
It wasn't shit. But it still sucked in the way of, it's a few days later after the storm, you're like, oh, I'm so relieved we didn't get hit. And then all of a sudden, okay, fuck you, you have no lights.
Just because you happen to say that, you have no lights now.
Yeah, exactly. It's like karma said, haha, bitch.
Now complain.
Yeah, exactly. So anyway, I'm at work, and I'm dealing with the outcome of what happened in New York. What happened basically was people had no gas. Okay? And people had no way to get to where they had to go because there was no gas.
Yeah, because the gas trucks couldn't get through or something due to the storm.
There was no fucking gas.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
The shit was all waterlogged and shit.
That's right, I forgot.
So people were coming all the way from fucking Jersey into Connecticut to get fucking gas.
I remember that, yeah.
It was fucking absolute fucking chaos. Now, the people out in Long Island, I felt bad for because they really got shafted. They actually they were going to do a freaking marathon with people still fucking with no houses and shit, and I think they pushed that back, but the fact that they originally were going to do that fucking sucks. That's just my opinion on that.
Okay.
But anyway, it's just, I can't say the stories that went on due to, obvious reasons.
Right.
However, what I can say is it really broke my heart that you have to tell these fucking people that have fucking, heart conditions and fucking, breathing issues and shit. Okay, we can't get you a ride because there's no gas.
Yeah, that's sad.
You don't know how big that broke my fucking heart because there was nothing I could do. It's like I'm just sitting there paralyzed. There's nothing I can do but take it and take it and take it and take it. And it takes a strong-willed person to deal with that.
Oh, yeah, definitely. What also broke my heart was all those people that lost their houses and pretty much lost everything. I mean, it was just sad. Coney Island was gone, which has been there forever and ever. I mean, people's houses, everything. It was just terrible.
But you didn't hear people crying. You didn't hear people afraid for their life because they could not get where they had to get. And there was no one willing to take them because they had a shortage. Say they had they were able to do fucking 10 trips.
Okay.
You have 3,000 people
Mm-hmm.
but you're only able to do 10 trips.
Oh, I would feel so bad.
So, I mean, it really broke my heart. I mean, to be fucking basically paralyzed. There's nothing you can fucking do in that situation. And if anybody has any stories they'd like to share with us, info@twolocalradio.com.
Exactly. Yeah, that breaks my heart to hear.
You know, but you just can't. You know, plus you're dealing with, okay, at that time, okay, I could feel it for them because I had no power.
Mm-hmm.
I had no power myself. And then when they, told me stories of, they were still going to hold rallies and shit, and people promised to help them out, but nobody's doing shit, it really got on my nerves. And that's all I can say for obvious reasons.
Yeah.
But these were heartfelt stories that if I could share, I would, but I'm not stupid.
Nah, we'll get off that subject. Anyways, but keeping up with the storm, I was watching, what was that show I watched? Mob Wives. I was watching Mob Wives.
What does Mob Wives have to do with the fucking storm?
Will you shut up and listen? It takes place in Long Island.
Stop. Collaborate and listen.
Different parts of Long Island.
All right.
And it was so sad because these mob wives were going through different parts of Long Island and stuff, and different parts of New York, and they were seeing that people lost houses and lost everything, and they were helping them out as best they could. A couple of the women got together and made food and everything. That just made my heart feel good that they did that. But it broke my heart to see all these people going without, and these kids going without. And nobody wanted to go to Long Island and help these people. I felt so bad for them.
Of course they didn't. They'd have to spend their money. Why would they want to spend more money? If they're rich, why would they want to spend their money to help somebody out? God forbid, that's the end of the fucking world.
Well, let me tell you something. These mob wives aren't, dirt poor. They're rich. They have money. They were helping people out. But other people weren't coming to help them out.
That's what I'm saying.
Yes. But that made me feel good, and that made me really love the show because I was like, wow, these women went out of their ways, Big Ange, all of them, and, really helped these people. And I thought that was really cool. And I'm like, these are some cool women to do that. And it made me wish I could go to Long Island and help. I felt so bad.
But think of all the people that had their vacations planned. They couldn't have canceled their vacations and went over and fucking helped these people. That's the kind of that's what pisses me off.
That's the kind of society we have now.
That's what pisses me off. It really does. It gets under my skin that when people are fucking in need and when push comes to shove, people become pussies.
Exactly. Why couldn't people from different parts of down south, all over different places? I'm just using down south as an example, okay? From anywhere, and come help people maybe from Texas or wherever. Why couldn't they come to Long Island and help those people?
And why were the people
Help
in the
build
city
their
more
houses.
concerned about a fucking marathon or some kind of race rather than helping their own fucking state? Because you're from a different part, you're different? No. People are fucking people.
Exactly. That's what made me really respect these women. Even though these women have money, they live in beautiful, comfortable homes. It made me have a lot of respect for them because they didn't care. They went out of their comfort zone to help others, and I thought that was really, really cool.
That's why I like the old, bikers and truckers.
Yeah.
And I'm not talking about, every day now that the world's changed.
It has. It's sad.
I'm talking about the older, ones that, really gave a fuck. The ones that people would label the bad influence. But yet, when there was something that needed to get done, a bunch of them would get together and they'd fucking get the shit done. And the other people would sit on their ass and not do jack shit.
Exactly. They're the ones that will put the rallies together for cancer or, they'll have a bike-a-thon for whatever the, cause is. To donate, to get that money raised for whatever that cause is that they're working on. And that's what gives me a lot of respect towards bikers.
Same thing with truck drivers.
And truck drivers, yes, definitely. That's why I have such respect for them.
But you know why? You know why it is, really? Because the bikers and the truckers are actually out there. They actually see the things that go on. They actually travel cross country and know what the fuck is going on.
Oh,
so
yeah.
that's why they give a shit. Mm-hmm. Those that watch it on the fucking news only see the parts that they want to see, and the rest are like, well, I'm not in that situation, and if I help, well, then I'm just going to be just poor like them. And then instead of, shopping at this big store, I'm going to be stuck going to Walmart.
Well, you know what? Maybe you need to go back and start shopping at Walmart. And start realizing who you are, where you came from. Don't forget your roots. People forget their roots. They forget where they came from. That's the problem with life.
Well, some people never experience that. If you take half the people that have money and you take the money away from them, they just want to commit suicide. I'm not saying
they wouldn't know
all
what to do.
Rich people. That's
No,
not what I'm
just
saying.
some.
I'm not saying there's not some rich people out there that don't help people. I am saying the ones that donate to all these fucking charities that only take people's money when they could help fucking people that really need fucking help. That's what pisses me off.
Exactly. I mean, it's just sad to see that all these people, that's all they care about is themselves. Me, 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 me. Well, you know what? You need to stop with the me, 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 me shit.
And just
start worrying about other people.
And just because we run a comedy show does not mean we can't be heartfelt at times, even though I break her balls about being heartfelt at times, because it's funny.
I got a soft heart. I can't help it.
But as a, show that actually shows that they give a fuck, we actually care. The little people actually matter to us, and that's not just a slogan. That's fucking real life.
Exactly. I mean, it's not like we're not the type of people that if we see somebody out there who needs some money, we're not going to give it to them. If we have $1, $2, whatever in our pocket, we give it to them.
Yeah, exactly. If somebody comes over, helps us out and is, it's not even about helping us out, but just comes over and just, just talks with us and shit. We're the type of fucking people that's like, hey, come over anytime. Come join the show.
Yeah. We had the guy come in and put the cable in today. And first thing, one thing we said to him as he was leaving, hey, man, anytime you want to come over and join the show, come on over. I mean, it's just how we are. The guy that came and did the wires, we told him same thing. I mean, it's just how we are.
Exactly. And that's what the, people that we do interviews with, they also know that as well.
Yeah, and I think they like the fact that they're always welcome.
We have an open door policy. We're not saying we keep things open so you can come here and, rob our shit. Mm-hmm. What we are saying is, people that are genuine, we don't, mind, coming out and hanging out. We're just normal fucking people.
Yeah. I mean, we're no different than anybody else, and, it's just how we are. I'm the first person to want to give to a cause, whether it be last week we were in Petco buying treats for our rabbit. A couple weeks ago, maybe even. And they said, oh, you want to donate some money to whatever the cause was, to buy a squeaky toy or something for an animal. Go through and pick out a toy. So I said, okay. So I picked out a toy and I said, okay, here you go. I mean, that's just the way I am.
Yeah,
I don't think twice about donating.
I bought cat food for the neighbor's cat. We don't even own a cat.
No, but you know what? What if something happens one day and the neighbors get stuck somewhere and they don't get home? We're not going to leave the poor cat out there to starve, We're going to give it some food.
The cat seemed hungry that day. So I'm like, you know what? We better have cat food around in case the cat comes back.
Yeah, I mean, it's a nice kitty cat. He or she is a nice cat. I mean, it always comes around. It always, rubs on us and meows at us and everything. It's just very friendly. So, that's how we are.
Yeah, we're just average people. It don't matter if we became millionaires one day. We'd still just be the same kind. And I know some people are like, well, money changes people. And I'm going to tell you,
us.
I'm going to tell you the truth. People that I've known came into a lot of money. I never ask for shit. The way I look at it, if it's not my money, then it's not my right to beg to have the money.
That's right.
That's the way I was raised, and that's, what I believe. I believe you work hard for what you have. And I think every, average person can relate to this.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
And that's why I said if I ever became I'd be helping people.
Yeah, me too.
I don't give a shit. I'd be helping people. I mean, I'm not going to make myself broke, but at the same time, I'm not going to be like one of these people that don't give a shit.
No.
If I see somebody really needs fucking help, and I'm not talking about sob stories. Everybody's got a sob story. Half of them are bullshit, but everybody's got a sob story.
I mean, if we're sitting here and, we've got money and stuff and, we see a neighbor or something whose kids are running around hungry or whatever, we give them money for food or we feed them or something, We wouldn't just let them go hungry. Same anybody. I mean, that's just how we are.
Exactly. It's like I'm not going to donate for a charity until I actually see the work and actually see them actually doing something.
Yeah.
I know too many damn charities, and I'm not mentioning names. But you have to be very cautious when you're fucking donating to people because a lot of people fucking pocket shit.
Exactly.
And don't give a fuck. On the outside, they're like, well, if you do this for us and, if you help us like this, we'll do all this. But then when you see where the money goes, you're like, did I really do something that stupid?
Exactly. I mean, like, if I was going to donate to a charity, I would definitely donate to, like, St. Jude's. I know the money goes to St. Jude's and it goes to those kids because those families don't pay for anything. For as long as their care is there, they get their care that they need to get these children well, and everything else.
Well, places like Operation Blessing and Feed the Children, I have worked for it. I've moved boxes and everything, and I've seen the look on people's faces when they were so happy just to have food, just to have clothes. You can't replace that with all the money in the world. You just can't.
No.
It's priceless.
It definitely is. I mean, I've been in, matter of fact, back last year, we were coming out of, I think it was Walmart or something. And so we're coming out of the Walmart, and there was somebody standing there with a sign. And the person looked like they were down and out, and, we felt bad. So we turned around and gave the person some money. What we had in our pockets between me, my husband, and my mother-in-law. It was only a couple bucks, but it was something. And to that person, it meant the whole world. And it felt good to see that look on their face. It actually made me get tears in my eyes because it was just like, it felt good to do that for somebody, just to help somebody.
And periodically as we grow, I will say this, I will stress this on different shows because I feel this is important. Do not, and I mean do not believe everything you read. Do not, and I mean do not believe everything you hear. Because once people get wind of you're doing something and you're not a part of the in crowd,
yep,
they will make stories and try to expose what you're doing to make you look like the bad guy, even though you're not.
Like we said, we're just normal, average people. We do this because this is something we enjoy doing. We enjoy making people laugh, and we just enjoy, doing our thing. This is what, makes us feel good.
And if you've seen us around town, you would see that we're just the same average people, just like everybody else. We just like to express things.
Exactly. I mean, that's just how we are.
But we're not going to get into too far, detail where it's like, touching lines that should not be crossed because we just don't know the whole story behind it all. We're not going to go on this whole, government charade because I don't know the whole story behind it. I'm not going to talk shit about the military or what they're doing because I don't know the stories behind it. I don't know what's going on. And if you listen to 12 different people that have been in the service, you'll get 12 different answers. You'll never know the truth because you're never there.
Exactly. I would never disrespect our military. I mean, I'm very grateful for all that they do for us to keep our country safe, Same thing with our policemen and our firemen and everybody else, you know?
And this is not us kissing ass. This is just us being real.
This is us appreciating the people that deserve to be appreciated.
Exactly. Firemen are true heroes.
Exactly.
Police, though I don't care for them, the ones that do the right thing are true heroes. You know, the ones that fight overseas for the cause of, defending us and, defending, at the same time, defending the people that are innocent, do the right thing, and those are our heroes.
Exactly.
Not the people that sit on the fucking podium and say all kinds of shit.
Right. It's, it's those people that are out there in the world, and they're the ones that are exposed to everything that's going on around, and they're the ones that are helping people,
I will say this before, going into great, detail, because I'm just not going to do it.
No, I think we'll just change the subject.
But I'm not changing shit. If I got something to say, I'm going to say it.
I said change the subject.
I said win, lose, or draw. I'm going to fucking say it. So this is what I'm going to say. I don't get the point why people are acting like children. And I'm not going to say what people.
Okay.
Some people out there are acting like children instead of looking at the cause. Instead of figuring a way to solve the problem, let's just bicker back and forth. It's not going to get anything done. It's not going to change anything, but let's just bicker back and forth, and that's the end of that.
Okay.
But it pisses me off why we decide to bicker back and forth instead of getting fucking solutions. So, that's all I got to say about that.
Okay.
But we've went 71 minutes, so we went over the hour, and trying to think if there's anything else I want to say. Is there anything else you want to say before we get the fuck out of here?
Nah, I think I'm good.
You're always good. You're always trying to fucking end shit. I swear.
How? I usually am the one still talking. I love to talk.
Yeah, especially when we had them, we had this great group of women come on. Now, of course, with their fucking audio problem, well, actually, on that day, it was an echoing problem.
Yeah, but those women were so much fun.
And my dumbass decided to mute the fucking mics by accident.
Yeah, but they were so funny, and we had such a good time. We hopefully want to have them back on because, like I said, they are just the funniest bunch of people.
Yeah, that's
women,
the beautiful ladies of Brick House that not only do modeling, but also have fucking real, helpful jobs and shit.
Exactly. They're very, very classy, tasteful women that model, and, they're beautiful. They really are beautiful women, and they're, like I said, they're a great bunch of women.
So, but after they came on, she just wanted to blah, 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 yada, 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 blah, blah, blah. I couldn't even speak.
I just had so much fun. They had us laughing, and we had them laughing, and we just had such a good time.
It's like you added women power, and then it was like, okay, you're a guy. Shut you up. Be quiet now.
Yeah, I mean, it was just, we just had such a good time. It's the funny thing is, when we have people on, there's people that come on and we just feel like we've known them forever. And these women were definitely one of them. I mean, we've had so many guests on that were like that, but, it was fantastic to sit there and talk to people, and you're meeting them for the first time, but you feel like you've known them your whole life.
And I got to get this out of the way. If you're into country music, because they're just a great, they're just a great guy, and you're on Spreaker, and you just want to listen to some great country tunes, check out Music Row.
Oh, yeah, definitely check that out.
Music Road. Music ROAD, but nonetheless. Not ROW. Or it might be ROW. It's one of the fucking two. You'll figure it out.
Well, okay, then.
Well, you ever have a brain fart? It's like
your
brain is like, okay, well, I'm trying to think of this thing, and I think I got it correct, but I don't want to piss anybody off at the same time.
I'm sure they understand that, people do make mistakes and, say something wrong.
And if you're looking for a cheap but affordable web designer, look on the bottom of our website and check out Eric. He's a phenomenal dude. He's done so much for the website, at a very affordable rate where it hasn't charged us an arm and a leg.
Yes, and he's a wonderful web designer. He's done a fantastic job.
And once again, we cannot thank enough Mr. Thunder Walrus.
Definitely.
Tim, our tool man. Well, yeah, because he's giving us the tools, to get,
where we got to go, yes.
Exactly. And to us, that's our tool man.
Tim the tool man.
There you go.
Thunder Walrus.
You can't even say his name right.
Sorry about that, Tim. I guess my tongue just doesn't want to speak tonight.
But our hearts and prayers go out to everybody out in Georgia, North Carolina, out here in, anywhere in the southern states.
Exactly.
Anywhere up north that's going to be going through these freaking crazy-ass freaking snowstorms in the next few days.
And I've been through up north has actually been through quite a few really bad snowstorms.
But
too.
anybody that's got to deal with power aid outages fucking...
Power aid?
Power outages fucking suck. How many fucking that we have dealt with since out fucking here? I mean, even lately,
Yeah.
It's just... when your lights go out and there's nothing you could do till somebody comes, it sucks.
Exactly, it does suck.
When we were up north and we lost the power for 4 days, some shit like that.
Something like that.
Kind of the fucking tree after the fucking storm.
I know.
We're in the clear. No, you're not.
Yeah, that was crazy.
Sleeping in, a hotel and then family members' houses and shit like that. Just
whoever had power, we went to their house.
Yeah, exactly. Because when you have an animal, you can't just leave them in the fucking dark.
No. Our poor little bunny would get scared. He doesn't like the dark.
Yeah, you can't. No, I think they do, but at the same time,
they don't, because I think if he was left in the dark for too long, I think he'd get a little freaked out.
Yes, but why do they go hide into a dark area if they don't like the dark?
Well, they like that kind of dark, but where it's dark. There's a difference of when it's dark, like under a bed or, under a desk or a table or whatever, than when it's dark and there's no light coming in at all.
So you're saying if they could see the light at the end of the tunnel, they're okay, but if there's no light there, they're
a little freaked out, I think, yeah.
Oh, that's...
Because I know when it gets to be where we're going to have a storm, like when it rains really hard here, and it hits our roof, and the minute the bunny hears it, he gets a little freaked out, and he starts, acting, really crazy. He starts, he'll shake, and he'll run and hide, and then he'll come back out, and he'll run back and forth. He's doesn't like it.
So just like a human, when there's no light at the end of the tunnel and you're all depressed, you feel like you're hopeless and shit.
Exactly.
But when there is, and when you could figure things out, it's totally different. I'm going to leave tonight, and I'm going to leave with this quote. It's from a Stain song.
Mm-hmm.
Now, basically what I know of Aaron Lewis, I've actually met him before he was famous and everything, and he's a great guy. However, I've known other people that have met him and said he was a dickhead and he stopped shows. But to each its own. But there's this saying that's in one of the songs that really touches my heart. And it goes... If you believe you have a problem, then you are the problem.
Mm-hmm.
But if you believe you've solved the problem, or you can solve the problem, you've solved the problem.
Mm-hmm.
What that means to me is basically if you have something in your life that's fucking with you so much that you're constantly in a hole, that it's a problem. If you do nothing about it,
it's just going to get worse and worse.
you're a part of the problem.
Yep.
In other words, you are the problem because you're doing nothing to change the situation you're in.
Exactly. I mean, it's like when you have, when life seems to, kind of feel kind of shitty. And I know some people that are going through that kind of stuff. And, basically all you can do is keep your chin up and always keep the faith. Because, one day it might look crappy, but the next day there may be a light at the end of that tunnel and it may get a little better,
Yeah, like the son of Bruce Lee said, it can't rain all the time.
Exactly. Well, like my friend would always tell me, she would always tell me that if I'd call her up having a bad day, she would always say to me, you know what? She'd always say, well, it might look bad today, but you know what? It can't get any worse. It's got to get better. And it usually does.
And you talk shit about me with the mic, yet you go on the side of the mic thinking that somebody's going to hear you.
And I'm talking on the side of the mic, and I'm talking about him. Okay? But you know what I'm saying? I mean, just because you feel that today is a crappy day, you got to just keep your chin up and keep, pushing forward, and the day will get better. And then things will get better for you.
And then on the other side, as I just cut you off, that fucking car.
That's okay.
If you find a way to, whether it's, unfortunately in this day and age, as much as we'd love to have half the things that we have, and sometimes you just can't. You can't afford it for this reason or another, or you're just not allowed. I mean, it is what it is.
Yeah.
But if you find a way to cut down or, solve the issue you're at, well, then you've solved your issue.
Exactly.
You don't need to ask other people for help when you already know the answer, but you just don't want to hear that answer. Well, then you're still got that problem.
Exactly.
It's like you could lead a horse to water,
but you can't make him drink.
Exactly.
Yeah. I mean, it's just that's how it is.
Actually, I lied. Because I want to share this story. I have to.
Go ahead.
I'm going to leave with this, and I mean this time for real.
Okay.
I heard I'm a huge Jaguars fan. There's no doubt in that. There's nothing against the, team out this way, but I'm a huge Jaguar fan.
Okay. I'm sure everybody's entitled to have their opinion about their teams,
Correct. And not everybody in one place, root for the same
teams, right.
So. But anyway, I was looking at this presentation, and something really touched me.
Go ahead.
And it's about this bird. And those that are not Jaguar fans, they'll never see this presentation. That's why I want to, talk about it.
Okay.
This lady, I forgot her name. It's not important to me.
Okay.
I mean, I'm sure she's a great person, but it's just not important to the story I'm trying to say.
Okay. Well, I'm sure.
This lady, she's lonely.
Mm-hmm.
She goes to the pet store. She buys a parakeet.
Mm-hmm.
It won't talk.
Okay.
So she's still lonely. She wants the parakeet to talk back to her. It's not happening. So she goes back to the pet owner.
No, the pet store. Go ahead, yeah.
What? Where do you think the pet owner's at? The fucking, the cell phone store?
Well, a pet owner is different than a pet store. A pet store, nobody owns these animals. These are animals that are up for adoption or to be bought. A pet owner is somebody that owns something. It's like me owning, let's say, a guinea pig. And I say, okay, I got a free guinea pig. That's a pet owner. But yeah, go ahead.
No disrespect, but on that token, you wonder why they call you bitch. You wonder why they call you bitch. I bet you.
I am a bitch.
Because people knew what the fuck I was talking about.
I know.
And you had to elaborate. But anyway, we're
I
back.
gotta break your balls.
We're
Go
back
ahead.
to the bird.
Go ahead, back to the bird.
All right, we're back to the bird. That the lady goes back to the pet store. Even though the fucking owner owns the fucking pet store. But
Just go ahead.
and goes to the person to help her out. My parakeet will not talk. How do I get it to talk? So the sales associate says, well, you get it a ladder.
Birds like to climb ladders.
There you go. Birds like to climb. So she buys the ladder and leaves the pet store. She goes home, gets the ladder. The bird climbs the ladder.
Mm-hmm. Go ahead.
Right? The bird still won't talk. So now, here she goes. She's a little upset because she's lonely and depressed and everything else. She goes back to the pet store, which doesn't have a pet owner, quote unquote.
Okay, come on. Just go with the story.
I love how she gets upset. But here's the deal. She goes back to the store, gets another sales associate.
Mm-hmm.
And this sales associate says, well, yeah, a ladder is nice, but a bird likes to swing.
Mm-hmm.
So she buys the swing. She gets back home, and the bird climbs the ladder. The bird swings on the swing, but it still won't talk. So this time she's furious, and she wants to wring the pet store's neck.
Mm-hmm.
Because there's nothing like having a parakeet that won't talk. That's kind of like having a rabbit that doesn't hop.
Okay.
So, or a dog that doesn't bark.
Okay, go ahead.
So now she's fuming. Which on the presentation she wasn't fuming, but my story she's fuming. Because I'd be fucking pissed right now. So she goes to the pet store, associate. It's like, look, I got a ladder. I got the swing. This fucking parakeet will not talk. So they're like, well, calm down, ma'am. It's okay. You know what you need to do? You need to get her a mirror. You need to get the bird a mirror. Birds love to look at themselves. So, still upset, but calm down. She goes home. And when she gets home, she puts the mirror up. Well, the bird goes up the ladder, swings on the swing, and loves looking at itself in the mirror. But the motherfucking bird still won't talk. So, she goes to sleep, wakes up in the morning. Bird's dead. So she goes to the pet owner, now weeping in tears. My birdie died. Right? And they're like, oh my God, ma'am, I didn't know what was going on. I mean, what happened with the bird? You said the bird wouldn't talk. What, did the bird say anything? She's like, yeah, the bird did say something. The bird told me, don't they have any bird food in the pet store?
After all that, you never fed the fucking bird. That's crazy.
It basically says that you need to focus on the essentials. Because we get so wrapped up in life where, that we think of the big picture. Okay, we want the expensive items. Okay, we want to go on the lavish meals, and we want to, have the best looking outfits and everything. And anybody that says they never wanted to buy a, expensive car or something expensive is full of shit.
Exactly.
But, that sometimes we forget about the little things. And it's the little things that matter. The things that, if you don't have food, if you don't have lights, if you don't have a job, if you don't have,
running water,
or your kid's not eating, or whatever the case may be, then everything else is pointless because you're not taking care of your own. And sometimes we forget that. Anyway, this is Ray Ray.
And Chrissy D. God bless.
Join us tomorrow, 11 p.m. sharp, probably 11:05. This is Two Local Radio.
God bless.
That's two God blesses.
That's right.
Wouldn't want to be a. Peace.